What's going on, guys? This is Brandon here from Niche Gamer, and this is the Niche Gamer Cast. It's been a while. This is episode 54, and I think it's been. I don't want to even say how long it's been. It's been a long time. So you guys have been asking about it. You've been pleading, and here we are. I'm really excited. Strap in, get hyped. We have a lot of stuff to cover, and I have actually a couple other staff here with me, and I think I'm going to hand it off to Rory first. If you could introduce yourself.
Yo, I'm Rory, Buttermancer. I'm a cynical asshole. I play too many video games. I work from home, and life is amazingly awesome.
Nice. I guess next, we'll do. How about Michael? You want to go next?
Yes, I can. My name is Michael, and my online persona is usually people know me by CWB in Tennessee, whatever, don't matter. I lurk in pretty much every corner of the internet, have for years. Used to be a professional shit poster, and then in the sense of I used to run Facebook pages for a living. Brandon brought me on back in October to help out with the social media side. I'm now the manager for the Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and still haven't yet to get to Steam stuff. Still poking at you on that, but pretty much, I guess I'm technically y'all's community manager now. So. And I'm glad to be because I've been a fan of the site since 2014. So, yeah, pretty much me in a nutshell. Oh, and I do tech support for one of the biggest console manufacturers in the world. And I can't really say that publicly because of an NDA, but yeah. So, yeah. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
And last but certainly not least, Carl.
Yes, that's me, Carl. I'm known as RPGN Boss. I've been with Brandon and his site since I think around fall or late 2013 when I discovered the site through his Tales of Zillia article. It was either an article or a preview. And it impressed me enough. I thought, wow, this is a nice site. It's very simple. This is cool. My life is RPGs. That's all I really care about. I can exist on nothing but RPGs instead of water or food. And I really that's all I want to do is write about role-playing games. I have absolutely no aspirations beyond that in life. And Brandon gives me an opportunity to do that. So I thank him. And he puts up with me, which, that's a job in and of itself. So thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Carl's been with us for a long time. I think we're finally getting back to moving ahead 100% full steam, and we're trying to make the podcast fun again, just trying to not have it be too scripted and not completely not scripted. And so I kind of want to just talk about what we're currently playing and stuff, and and real quick, I want to point out to Michael or CWB, you actually are our community manager, so. And I gotta get you the Steam shit, but it's like I keep forgetting that it exists, that we have a Steam curator and all this stuff.
Well, that's why you brought me in, dude.
Jesus
I'm here to kind of help.
That fucking cat, god damn it! I told you, man. This fucking cat. Oh my god. That was probably
fantastic.
That was probably really loud too. Oh my god, I am so sorry.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh my god, my fucking cat, dude! I swear to God, I built a wall.
Yeah.
So. Cat is the fifth member of this chat. I take it, right?
Pretty much. I lost one of my earbuds. Where did it go? Son of a bitch! That fucking goddamn cat. Anyway.
But no, like I was saying though, it's why you brought me on, man, to kind of get all this stuff corralled in, get in everything everything in its place, So I am glad to help.
Yeah.
And plus it's a nice little side hobby, man, because I talk about video games at work, and over here, I talk about video games pretty much, it's like my life is pretty much just video games. That's it. That's all my life is. Yeah. It revolves around video, and I wouldn't have it any other way, really. So.
Same here.
Well, there's a few more things besides video that you love.
That talk. Yeah.
Shit posting and
thoughts.
Thoughts. Dirty notions that are too disgusting for my little Christian eyes. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Rory and Brandon, you both know my saga. You both know how I crashed and burned at the last job I had. So yeah, we can get into that at a later time.
I have to just point out, and this is why, like, Carl, you've been so against Facebook, but I stay on there only for close family, friends, and like industry people. But obviously, as we all know, on November 8th of last year, Donald Trump became the savior of the United States of America, and then half of the country lost their fucking
on suicide watch.
Yeah, and ever since then, my Facebook has just been like all I mean, it's calmed down a bit, thank God. But for a while, man, it was just nonstop, like Trump, and I'm just like, oh my God, dude. And then like well-known people in the industry writing like 10-paragraph long diatribes, but fucking Michael was on there fucking just shit posting, like stuff about, anti-Trump people. and I legit told Michael this before I brought him on. I'm like, dude, your shit posting kept me going sometimes. Like, I was so depressed and just like so tired of like just the negativity, and then I would see a shit post from him and I'm like, oh man. Like I would just be cracking up,
You have a very different reason than friending Michael than I do. Because realistically, for me, I friended him and we were just talking shit about other websites for a long time. And then I would just give him an updated counter of every single time his groups get banned. That's it. I'm like, dude, signed into your fucking group again. Banned again. I just got to the point where I gave up.
Well, my favorite thing was Michael started using the term zucked as an adjective. And I'm like, oh man. It's like, yep, got zucked again. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
In this year alone, I've been banned 7 times on Facebook for 30 days at a time, just for shit posting.
Jesus.
People get so mad at me. I don't know why. I just like memes. I don't bother nobody.
It's Facebook. You're supposed to be serious. It's a legitimate news source now.
I don't really think it's much the memes. I think it's just the simple fact that you're triggering people with huge, giant anime titties. Big fucking anime titties over here.
Yeah.
I know. One of my incarnations of my anime titty emporium page got to like 40,000 likes.
Jesus.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah. People like drawing titty. I pretty much give up on growing it, though. I'm focusing on niche gamer now. I don't give a shit. It's fun. This stuff is just fun to me now. As for 3 years solid, it was pretty much my life. Because whenever I worked for WTF Magazine, that was my life. Like, all I did was just post memes and clickbait. Memes, clickbait. That was just like clockwork, And at least over here, helping you guys, whatever, stuff I find that I find funny and want to share and everything, that people like and everything, it doesn't feel as futile over here, because the content going out other than my memes is actually good. You guys put out good shit, and that makes it, makes it worthwhile to me, really, From
doing also, you like years. The fact that we sit here and talk shit about each other all the time.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about what we're playing so we can judge each other,
Personally, I've been kind of obsessed with Nier Automata myself, obviously.
Dude, it's like all you post. I blame you for the fucking Game of the Year poll being all Nier.
I know. But also, I've been playing a couple of like Humble Bundle games and stuff that's actually been really good. One I picked up here recently is called The Killer is Dead. That's a good one.
God, yeah, it's a good game.
That was a really good. I was really surprised by that game. I was like, man, this kind of looks kind of stupid, because it's like, the cell graphics and, kind of over the top,
man,
anime shit, but it was really good. I liked it. It's really good for being free too, but man. Still.
It's Suda 51 plus. Did you get to the part where you get the fucking glasses to let you look at their titties and stuff?
Yes. That is the fucking greatest. Sitting there and you're like a gigolo or something. Yeah. That's like your character. You're a gigolo. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If that game came out today, oh my god.
Oh god, yeah. It would be. There would be campaigns against it to be banned.
He's a gigolo, and his glasses let you steal parties. That's the filth. You're like, oh my god.
I never bought that game, but now hearing that you can do that, now I want to play it.
Oh,
It's really fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
it is.
fun.
That's just a side quest thing, like extra thing that they threw in. The fighting part of it, though, the battle mechanics and stuff, it's kind of clunky, but
It's a
it's overall it's a neat game.
it's
I
a
like
Suda
it.
51 game, and his games are typically super stylish and usually
Oh yeah,
perverted, but they got
yeah.
usually kind of weird mechanics, and
Mhm.
um,
Wasn't that a PS2 game or a
I
PS2
think it
era game?
was
I think
it was
so. I think it was like
PS3.
right at the end. I think it was like right at the end of the PS2 era, beginning of the PS3. Because I think the Steam. Well, no, actually, I got it right here. The Steam. I
I
can tell
think
you
it was
that
No,
exactly when it
PS3.
was released.
it's a PS3 era game.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that Shadows of the Damned that came out before that, I think, and
hmm
that game's fun too. I mean, just like like the gun is the boner, then you get the big boner, and to power it up, you have to jerk it off. I mean, it's insane. Like it's hilarious.
Yeah, Killer is Dead originally came out in 2013.
Okay. Yeah,
Damn, it
that's
feels like
definitely a
forever ago.
PS3. Yeah. PS3, early PS4 era. Because I think the PS4 did come out to what, like 2014. I think. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I think it was 2014. Yeah, but yeah, I feel like the rest of us we've all been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a lot. You know, only three of us here have Switches. Michael doesn't, but
Nope.
um,
PC Master Race.
Well, to be fair, I agree. I am PC Master Race as well, but I flirt with the consoles every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
If you like RPGs, you have to, especially JRPGs.
indeed.
yeah.
It's kind of funny. I work for one of the biggest console manufacturers, and I don't even own a console. I get free gold every year, but that's about it.
We
I
know.
don't work for anyone, and I own everything.
The funny thing is, a lot of people get pissed off whenever I make any hint of a game possibly coming to PC if it's like console exclusive. Fuck you, Brandon. Fuck you, blah, blah, port baggy, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you know, and I'll be like, dude, every time I talk to a Japanese developer, I'll be like, put your games on PC, put them on PC, and they're like, okay. I get closer. I'm like, put them on PC. And like
Put them on PC or it gets the lotion again.
and like a lot of people, because I spoke to Takaki-san from Center Kagura like multiple times, and like every time like dude, just put your stuff on PC, just do it. And eventually they did, and like a lot of people are like, dude, you probably got the Center Kagura on PC. And I'm like, well, I asked about it like every time I saw him, you know. So
I think that's starting to happen, though. A lot of Japanese companies are putting their stuff on PC. I never thought I'd see the day where, the Atelier games came out on Steam.
yeah.
I mean, it seems like I don't know anything about programming, but it would seem like since most of these consoles are almost like a mini PC, that it would be an easy thing for them to do. It's just easy cash.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It just depends on how the game is made originally. So
Like, I don't know why
that's my background is programming, and it's I've had a couple of things that I used to work on that was video game based, and usually if you build it for console first and then you port it to PC afterwards, it's a clusterfuck and it's going to die. Unless you rewrite a whole bunch of very specific things I really can't get into of previous instances that I've worked on. But usually it's the opposite, that if you make something for PC, it's a lot easier to bring to console.
that sounds like it makes sense. Yeah.
The only time that it was an absolute nightmare, honestly, was PlayStation 3 era,
Oh, God,
going
yeah.
from PC to console, because that cell process was a pain in the dick.
But bruh, the more cell processors you have, the more computing power you have, and eventually everything will have cells, including toasters and fridges and fucking televisions, and everything will be the cell, man. Soon you'll be able to like jack into the internet, just like Kaz said we could, or no, Ken, crazy Ken, Ken Kutaragi.
Or you could just sit there and run that freaking, SETI or whatever it is at home on there. Call it a day.
I used to do that too. Like I'm solving cancer. It's like no, you're not. Um. Anyway, yeah. So I feel like we've all been playing Xenoblade and some other random shit, but let's move into the niche news of the week. So it's been a while, but we can't include like fucking everything from the past fucking I don't know like 2 years since we've done the podcast. So, but so this is the past week and a half of news, but there's a lot of news. PlayStation Experience, the Game Awards. There's a lot of shit going on. So,
Oh, you mean nap time? No shit. I was at some of the events and I fucking fell asleep during the presentations. I'm sitting inside the crowd just fucking knocked out. It was amazing. I'm not going to say it's the best nap that I had in my entire life, but some of the dreams that I had during that time was, I could have swore I was on mushrooms at one point.
Jesus. Well, anyway, I think these first things are from the Game Awards. Let me see. Although, I don't think we had a lot of stuff from the Game Awards that were included, because these were like the biggest, announcements. Well, the medieval, I guess, medieval remastered, was announced for PS4. So
I was totally not expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting that. It was kind of a pleasant surprise. It's like, oh hey, cool. We're playing it on PlayStation. So yeah, that was cool.
Kind of makes sense though with platformers having a little bit of a resurgence now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just digging up old IP, saying, "Oh look, we can dig this up now." Where's the Spyro remake?
Yeah, that's polished as turd, dude.
God.
Wee.
Well, the problem is Spyro fucking Skylanders.
yeah.
So we'll never actually get like an original fucking Spyro at this point in time. I think that's long and gone. But
Well, I think what they're probably going to do is probably like with the Crash Insane Trilogy, like it's technically a remaster, but it's also pretty much like rebuilt just with way better visuals, So
well, I think Sony, in a sense, is pretty much doing what what they have to at this point in time, because there's just so many different could have been franchises for Sony that just got left behind. Specifically inside, the PlayStation 1 era things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of, Medieval was fun. I actually own both Medieval 1 and 2, and, I went back and played it when I got home after the and it's still fun. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the remaster, especially because it's very unique inside of its visual style to begin with. And, I'm just wondering exactly what's going to happen when they bring it to PlayStation 4 base graphics. It's like the same thing with what happened with Insane Trilogy for Crash Bandicoot. It's like the graphics looked good for the PlayStation, and then they transferred really easy over to the PS4 inside of that visual style. Yeah. So even if you went back and you played it on the PlayStation 1, you would know that it's a Crash Bandicoot game, because despite lower polygon counts and, the fog blur off in the distance and such, it's that style that translated very well.
Although they did, what was it? They changed the timing on the jumps or whatever. So it's like hardcore fans were like, "What the fuck, man? I used to be able to make this jump," and then they're like freaking out.
Crash Bandicoot is Dark Souls.
Oh my god, dude.
I have one thing for Sony, and with all their remaster shit like that they're starting to announce, because if it becomes a trend where there's every PSX they announce another fucking remaster, Sony, give me a Legend of Dragoon game. Come on, fuck you. I need this. I've been waiting for so goddamn long. You bitches.
That game fucked with my emotions as probably as much as Nier did. That game, oh god.
Wait, speaking of Dark Souls, From Software has this new teaser. It's for this new game, and it's Shadows Die Twice. And of course, if you actually look at the teaser or watch it, it's like some sort of like gear with like some fucking, you know, rope, and it's like being, wound up, and it's all bloody, and people are like, oh, Bloodborne sequel or whatever. But I don't know. But from Software key developer was like, more details coming in the next year. So who knows when we'll see what it actually is.
I think they might move away from Dark Souls, because I'm one of those pathetic people that they taunt who still wants another Kingsfield. I prefer Kingsfield over Dark Souls. That's why I bought a PS1 for the original Kingsfield, and I was hoping they would revisit it. But after Kingsfield, then they moved on to that Dark Souls style. Maybe after Dark Souls, now with the new console generation, they're going to move on to a new style of RPG. Who knows? I don't see them making I don't know how long they can ride that style of game out.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, I haven't even played anything beyond Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know, I get so, I don't know, tired of it.
Well, we already know that FromSoft said that they want to start revisiting, some of their older franchises. I don't think it's going to be Bloodborne 2. I honestly think it would be something like Shadow Tower. Honestly,
Oh, I loved Shadow Tower.
I'm honestly kind of thinking it's based either Shadow Tower, something else. I mean, there was a good video that I saw. I can't remember the name of it, that was on YouTube, where they were talking about what it could be. And they said that there's like a sai or something like that inside the background, or a kunai inside of the rope as it's being twisted. So it could have some type of Asian aspect. The rope covered in blood. Yeah, that could be Bloodborne. Could have been a trick weapon, but I just don't believe that it really is. With them already saying that they wanted to move away from the entire Soulsborne area, I think that I'm really hoping they start going back to Armored Core,
Yeah.
as well as some of the old stuff. Like I would be afraid for Kingsfield, just because that's what Dark Souls and stuff like that was. The next iteration thereof. But I do think something like Shadow Tower, to keep it separate, would have been good.
Speaking as a Kingsfield nut, one thing I felt that Kingsfield had that I didn't find in Dark Souls, and why I didn't play beyond the first one, was it didn't have that exploration aspect. What I loved about Kingsfield, it was very slow and plodding, and it was all about exploring. You could travel for 5 minutes in a cave somewhere and maybe fight one monster. I just love that. I can't even explain it, but it's just that I didn't find that in Dark Souls. Dark Souls was all about, hey, here's this same mob in this same area, and you fight another monster every 20 seconds. It just stressed me out after a while.
I think it's more or less the way that you actually play the game. Personally, like I own Kingsfield. I have all the Dark Souls. I have Demon Souls, Bloodborne, all that stuff, and there is a lot more exploration inside of Dark Souls, especially with Dark Souls 3 DLC was like that. But I do see where you're coming from, and Dark Souls does have a lot more action based. I do think the one thing that I'll say about Dark Souls is that a lot of the narrative of the game is through gameplay and item exploration and stuff like that, and it's up for you to adding it together. But the entire separation between Kingsfield and Demon Souls / Dark Souls is that, yeah, it's supposed to be like the next evolution of the game, but inside the same point in time, there was a lot more, how do I explain it, investment of you inside there, because Kingsfield was a very hardcore, hard first-person RPG that if you screwed up inside of there, it hurt you a lot more than any Dark Souls game ever.
But the combat was far more exploitable in Kingsfield. Once you learn how to circle strafe, 99% of the enemies couldn't even hit you.
Yeah, of course. But
Just the dance.
that's another thing that's up to the player, though. I mean, Dark Souls has that as well. You can cheese almost any specific boss inside that game. Like you could cheese almost the entire freaking game with the right build.
That's true, but it does take some good reflexes I no longer have. I beat Demon Souls and half beat Dark Souls 1, and I think I broke the case it came in because I threw it against the wall so many times. And after that, that's why people say, oh, did you continue playing it? Did you play Dark Souls 2 or 3 or Bloodborne? No, because honestly, I just can't take that much stress in my life.
Yeah, I beat all of them, including the Kingsfield one. I do like the way that it went, especially for a newer console generation. But if the new Shadows Die Twice trailer ends up being Shadow Tower, I personally do hope they go back to that Kingsfield-esque style for it, just to keep the series separate.
Yeah, I actually had Shadow Tower Abyss earlier this year. I found out they had a translation for it, and it's been a while since I played it on the emulator, but that's in my backlog.
Yeah.
Those are all games that I've had on my list for a long time. I don't have any time.
I've never really got around to playing the Dark Souls games, but like all the playthroughs that I've watched over the years, I mean, the games are fucking gorgeous. I mean, especially Dark Souls 3, like all the boss fights and stuff, they're all over YouTube. It's hey, great, fuck yeah, looks cool. But I don't think I could, I need to get good because I suck at it. I've died so many times at Dark Souls, I just give up after trying for about 20 hours. I barely got like a quarter of the way through the game because I just suck.
In the first Dark Souls, I know I got to that spider lady down in the underground level. She was the last. I beat her, and then I went into that church area where they had those really skinny platforms you had to walk on. And I got so pissed off constantly falling off of those platforms. That's the last part of the game I played. I think I broke my controller, my Xbox pad I used on my PC. I said, that's it. Screw it. I'm done. Because if I'm dying from just falling off platforms, I mean, I can fight a monster. I get the patterns. I can do that. But, I don't know. The platforms fuck me up.
I'm trying to think the last time I did something like that where I just fucking like threw my controller. Man, I'm trying to think. Maybe like I can't remember. I mean, there have been games where I got that pissed off. Definitely, where I'm just like I mean, I remember like when I played the original God of War, and you have the scene where you have to push the fucking cage with the dude in it up the hill, and then dudes spawn at you, and if you. It's like it's so perfectly timed and balanced so that you literally only have enough time to kill the dudes, push it up a bit, kill the dudes, push it up a bit, and if you mess up, it fucking goes to the bottom. And I was getting so angry, I was just screaming at my TV, until I basically couldn't talk anymore. I just screamed so much, and I think I coughed up blood. I was getting so angry, and I was back. I was still like in high school or college or whatever. My parents were like, "Can you please stop?" I'm just like, "It's so unfair. It's so unfair." So anyway, so this one was kind of this next bit of news. Crytek partnered with this company to make their own cryptocurrency called CryCash. So they're calling it a cryptocurrency for gamers. The real short version, it's going to be rated against Ethereum. So whatever the value of Ethereum is when it launches will be the value of one CryCash token. They have it all, planned out. Who knows what'll happen, because we've seen what's happened with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin going up and down, and it's interesting, but I don't know. Like, it's
what are the real advantages of using that as opposed to just using Bitcoin?
Well, because it's starting really low. Obviously, if you invest like if you buy like 100 of them, that'd be like right now the value of Ethereum to CryCash. You could get like 100 CryCash tokens for like $60. So if the value goes up, like at all. You're just making profit. But who knows, how much it's gonna grow and stuff like that. I mean, Crytek is backing it 100%, so that's very that's like their reputation, whatever.
Well, not to be edgy, but I stopped caring about Crytek when Crysis 2 came out. That was a very consoleized game compared to the first Crysis. And I can't believe they're that healthy of a company to actually do this. I thought they kind of flopped after Crysis 3, and I hadn't heard from them since. Maybe, does the engine make that much money for them?
Yeah, they
Well,
they
It's a fairly
downsized.
popular. Yeah, it's a fairly popular engine too. So
well, not only that, Far Cry as well. Even though they do Crisis, I mean, they have Far Cry 5 coming out. They've no matter what they've done, they've still been popular.
Far Cry still uses their engine? Because I know Ubisoft started with Far Cry 2. They had bought the rights.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know off the top of my head, but
I remember Far Cry 2 used some kind of engine called Dunia, Dunia. I don't know what the rest of them use, but...
Well, I think they're still trucking along. I know they closed a couple studios or something. I mean, this is once you cover so much shit, like, you just stuff blends together. But I know they closed up a little bit. But I do know that they have that one game coming out called like Hunt or whatever, or The Hunt, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's still far from release, I think, because they're still working out gameplay stuff. But we have a preview for it somewhere. Like, so go check it out. It's basically like multiple teams of 2 people online all hunting down a monster. You kill it, exercise it, you get the token thingy for killing it. Then you got to get back without the other hunters killing you. It's an interesting, and it looks really cool. So I mean, I think maybe they're on a good track, but this whole Cry Cash thing, it was like it came out of nowhere. Like, what? So
I'm surprised Bethesda didn't do something like that. Then I could actually see it.
I don't know.
only if it's great, specifically Todd Howard memes.
Speaking
Different
of
coins have his face on them. One with a mustache, one with an eye patch.
yeah. Just like all the different memes. It's just like different forms of currency. It's just Todd money, and it just like you just spend like 10 Todd cash to buy like the next Bethesda game or something.
The next Skyrim.
like, greetings, fellow consumer. I am John Smith. I'm looking to buy Todd Howard dollars. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm gonna get a new desk at some point soon, and I'm gonna have a bit more room and stuff. And when I'm not doing a podcast, because eventually I want to start doing video content again for the site. So when I'm not doing video content, I have a picture of my son I'm gonna have here. But when I do stuff for the site, I'm gonna switch it for another frame that I'm gonna have with a picture of Todd Howard on my desk. So like, I'm gonna see how many people notice it, when we start doing video content, and they'll be like, "Really? You have a framed photo of Todd Howard?" And I'm like, "So."
Yeah, see, all you people on Discord, when I told you about Brandon and Todd Howard, you should have listened. You should have fucking listened to me.
Brandon, have we sold out to Bethesda?
We have to feed Daddy Todd and his babies. We have to buy literally every game that they put out. Literally every version. At least 2 copies of every.
At least 2 copies of every version on every platform.
Yeah, all you fuckers never listen to me. Never, not even once.
Spoiler: the upcoming.
We need all the Todd Howard memes just to get the fucking Brandon. So hopefully someday he can get over his gigantic man crush. No one listened to me. And now we're sitting here talking about framing pictures of Todd Howard. Fuck y'all, I quit.
I'm still waiting for Todd to accept my friend request on Facebook. I swear to God, I'm waiting. I've been checking once a day. I'm just sitting there waiting. I friend requested him like a year and a half ago or something. I'm waiting. I'm looking at it. I'm like, come on, Todd, please accept my friend request so I can slide into your DMs.
He will once you review Skyrim for Switch and give it a 10 out of 10.
I was seriously considering like just farting out a review for it and just be like 10 out of 10, and just to piss people off and be like, God damn it, dude! You know? Oh man, yeah. The VR version is kind of weird though. It's wow, it's windy outside. Jesus. For those who don't live in the Northeast, it's pretty cold here. It's getting windy, and I think it's gonna be in the teens tomorrow. You know, it's gonna be pretty cold. It's a Tuesday night. It's oh, excuse me. Oh man, it's like 10:15 our time on the East.
You channeling Rick and Morty there, man?
We need to get into it. You need an IQ of 400 to understand this joke. Oh man. Anyway, here's some real news though. This was I was jizzing on myself, but Nintendo announced both Bayonetta 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch, and Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I got a post right at 1,000 shares on our Facebook about Bayonetta.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that picture that I passed the other day, it's up to 1,000 shares on my.
Oh yeah. That was the one.
Yeah, it's like it's Bayonetta 2 all over again. Yeah,
all the fanboys are like, fuck Nintendo, man, fuck shit, man. And you're like, well, would you rather have it not exist or have it exist and Nintendo funded it? Like, you know, I don't understand the reasoning.
I never get tired of watching stuff like that blow up. Just kind of going back on my previous experience, you know.
Yeah.
It's like just casually shit posting stuff like that and watching it just kind of just explode. That always just made me laugh. I was like, yeah, cool. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm easily amused.
With Bayonetta 1 and 2, I'm going to have a hard time even wanting to buy it, honestly. I like owning hard copies of everything that I get.
Me too.
Even if I got a software download, I'm going to track a fucking hard copy. And just, I was just like, yeah, fuck, I love Bayonetta 1 and 2. This is awesome. And 3's being announced. Great, I'm going to buy them all. And then, you know, one of the games is downloaded.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, fuck, I guess I'll just play it on my Wii U. God damn it.
Well, the dumb thing is, like, I own Bayo 1 and 2 for multiple platforms, including Wii U, and it's like, the European version, they get the Steelbook. And it's like, alright, why couldn't you go the extra step and at least give them the physical copy for Bayo 1, and then we'll just fucking import it? But they're like, no. Nope.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever hit up J-List about that? You remember they told you to email them?
I mean, yeah. I was looking at, I think originally when Amazon Japan went up with it, it was sold through Amazon Japan, and they did international shipping, like no question. Mm-hmm. But then, you know, they fucking sold out, and then there's third parties who only ship to Japan, and I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, PlayAsia has it up on their site, and I'm willing to throw down and wait for it, but I don't know how reliable they are with securing this type of limited shit.
I've had good luck with PlayAsia on a bunch of limited things, but only if you jump on the reservation before it's actually released. If it doesn't matter like how many people were from PlayAsia, the vast majority of times I've ever reserved something with them, I just got it.
No, I should have. Dude, I knew it. I knew I should have pre-ordered it. Like literally the I didn't mean to cut you off. I just went to check the Bayonetta 2, that big bundle from Japan. All of their allocations have been pre-sold. God fucking damn it, dude. Man.
USA gets fucked again.
I know. I'm so bummed out. That fucking sucks, dude. Well... Anyway, let's move on. A lot of other cool stuff was announced, though. Soul Calibur 6. It's like, holy fuck. Like, you know, that was announced for PC, PS4, Xbox.
Yes. And then you found out, like, another thing later about it's going to be like a reboot of the whole franchise.
Yeah. A lot of, there's been a lot of little bits of info trickling out. And a lot of other sites are not directly connecting the dots. Like, there's an interview that came out via Famitsu where there's like 3 of the core staff on the team are talking up the game, and they say the theme is reboot. This is a reboot. And I'm like, well, then it's a reboot of the franchise. And they literally go into detail. You know, the game goes back to the original timeline, the original time period, the original characters. And I'm like, it's literally a reboot. Like, you know, like why say anything else? You know, so yeah.
But Soul Calibur, wasn't that spoiled long ago though? They were seeing that.
Well, yeah, they say anything after Soul Calibur 2 or 3 sucked, basically. Like 4 was like, eh, and then 5 was like, Jesus. And then...
Yeah, it went downhill at 3.
Well, you know, the last one I played was the one where they had Darth Vader and Yoda and all that, and that was for the Xbox 360, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem is it started becoming a parody of itself. It's just, oh, look, we got Spawn. Oh, look, we got Yoda. We got Darth Vader. I'm like, well, what the hell are they doing in a medieval fighting game?
Well, Soul Calibur 2 is the one where they had freaking Spawn for Xbox and then Link for, the GameCube and then Heihachi. And I mean, realistically, through all, I thought Heihachi fit the most if it wasn't for that fucking time leap thing, honestly, just because of the style. Even though I enjoyed playing Link for it and Spawn, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh god, why? He's overpowered as shit. But like, I don't know, man. It's. I mean, I think it was 3 that came out on PlayStation 2 only. It had a fun mode on there that was kind of its
had like an RPG mode.
Yeah, exactly. And I
like that one.
But the difficulty spikes on that were fucking shit. But I don't know if I'm better at it now. But that's when I was like first starting off inside of fighting games. I always played them, but I was never really. But it's just the moment that I saw fucking Soul Calibur come out, and it's like the PlayStation 3 version has Darth Vader, the Xbox 360 version has Yoda. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, and like, wasn't it like the Nintendo version had Link, something like that?
No. That was Soul Calibur 2.
Oh, okay.
The Soul Calibur 4, it was basically what it was they put their main thing was, well, Star Wars is a long ago in a galaxy far away, and it doesn't help that I already hate Star Wars. Full clarity, I don't like Star Wars to begin with, but the PlayStation 3 version had Darth Vader, and then the Xbox 360 version had Yoda, and then later on, able to get the other character as DLC on the other one. And there was also, from the Force Unleashed game, Star Killer, I believe his name or something like that was also put out on it. If my memory serves me correctly. But, I got it. And I literally probably played Soul Calibur for about 10, 15 minutes and never touched it again. And I just kind of stopped playing the games. They just weren't fun to me anymore. I mean, I thought that Namco really had some awesome character designs when it came to Soul Calibur, but realistically, I got to the point where I was just like, I'm gonna go play some Guilty Gear instead. Or if I really want to play a 3D fighter, I'll go play Tekken, despite the characters being kind of blah. It's more fun for right now, and then like I literally just never cared for another Soul Calibur. But with this announcement, if they start going back, because I'll be honest, once you stop playing Soul Calibur and then you jump inside of it, and they try to have this heavy emphasis on the storyline, I was just sitting there, I'm like, so wait a minute, time travel and this guy's a sorcerer, this chick has a gigantic hula hoop and it's completely psychotic, and I'm with this, and people are flinging jizz around left and right of their own freaking morals and beliefs on one another. I was just like, I just wanted to fight things, guys. What the hell is this shit? It's not even fun.
Yeah, the story got really fucking weird.
Yeah, it got really convoluted. The only reason why I played it was because of the Ivy titty lady with the thorn whip. She was great.
yeah.
I like playing with her. So there's just one GIF that's been floating around for years. It's just her slinging the fucking thing around her head and her titties are bouncing back and forth. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I was about to say those games
Yeah.
have great boob physics.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow, this is
Yeah, buddy.
breaking news. Apparently, Fox is projecting that Doug Jones is going to defeat Ray Moore in the Alabama special election race for the Senate.
Moore's going to win. I'm saying it right. Because he makes the right people mad. And the thing is, that's how Trump won, is he made the right people angry. Because he is probably going to go down as the only person that got spite voted into office, I think.
Well,
Because there's a contingent of people that just like to piss these little snowflakes off and everything, and they figured out the way to do it is just do the exact opposite of what they're crying about.
oh my god, dude! There's one super liberal person that I follow from the industry who was like, I just cried from happiness because Ray Moore didn't win. I'm like, oh my god, dude! Just like, can you please?
I must be the only person here who doesn't care about politics whatsoever.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I don't care about that particular story because I don't even understand what it's about.
So basically, it's like typical politics. I mean, I don't really care either, but I just love seeing people get pissed off.
No, me too. Me too. That's my thing. I just like following the. I call it following the autism. That's just like go.
Well,
Brandon seen me work shit posted, man.
Yeah.
I kind of ride. I lean right, but I kind of ride the middle more than anything, really. But I do really like making people mad, and that's one reason why I get banned a lot. So yeah.
No, for me, I live in California, so it's like you're either in politics or you're and I'm just like, well, fuck this shit. I'm going to be a hermit. Fuck everyone. So when politics comes up, I'm just like, oh, God.
The thing that,
not
like,
again.
I was just hoping that fucking Ray Moore would win so that it would crush out, any, the little bit of hope. Because now, if this other dude wins, the Democrat, now they're all going to be like, what if we win Alabama? How far can we go? Can we impeach Trump finally? Can we impeach Trump? I'm like, oh my God, dude, please, like, can you please just stop? Please. I'm so tired.
I
tired of hearing this shit.
I love the impeach Trump memes because it's like every time he takes a breath, they're just like impeach.
Did you see? He drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, oh my God. Like, I'm so tired. So very tired.
Yeah, stuff like that I like. It's just the stupid shit.
Honestly, I find it hard to believe that CNN is still in business when they spend an entire news cycle, an entire day and a half talking about how many Diet Cokes he drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that too, and I didn't understand it. Like, what the fuck? When you turn into a cable news station, you want to hear news, things about your foreign relations, what's happening with Korea, what's happening with Syria. But you don't. You hear about Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's all they care about now. So, anyway, let's get back on track.
Oh yeah. Sorry, derailed it.
That was my fault. That was my fault. I just saw it. I keep our Twitter feed up. A
little bit of poll posting. Poll.
Yeah.
Hello, poll. Hi, poll.
So there's a couple other announcements. THQ Nordic and Black Forest Games, who they now own, which is kind of crazy. I'm telling you, THQ Nordic, they have a fuckload of money. Like, they have a shitload of money. They're already a big player, in my opinion. They're gonna keep making big moves. But they announced this game called Fade to Silence, and it was leaked before, which kind of sucks. But it looks interesting. I mean, but it's another survival game. I'm like, ugh. You get sticks and you fucking dig holes and you run around with your cock flopping around, and there's monsters that pop out. And they're like, oh, and you're like, oh, I'm scared. And you're just like, it's another Me Too survival sandbox game. I just destroyed any hype for the game.
Yeah, I ran into THQ guys at E3, and they're fucking awesome guys.
Yeah,
I got to talk with them for like 10 minutes. So if they ever happen to listen here, hi guys. But I can't remember the names, but Fade to Silence, I saw it and I was just like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I really don't think I'm going to be 100% invested inside of a game like this. I mean, during the trailer when they started showing off, like you could barely see it in like the lower right hand corner of it, kind of like a Fortnite style like building mechanic. I was just like, no, I no. I mean, it looked pretty. Don't get me wrong, but no, not for me. Those games are starting to become a dime a dozen.
Yeah, I think it's the building, the whole building stuff in games. Like with Fallout 4, there was such an emphasis on the whole building your empire and you put your stuff. It's like Minecraft. It all came from Minecraft, and I didn't like Minecraft. I didn't like these survival games. Just not my thing.
I mean, you got Rust, Minecraft, Fortnite. God, there's Ark. It's just like. I was like, okay, when I first saw it, I was just like, okay, this could be kind of fun, kind of cool. I like the Huskies, it seems very interactive. But then they were just like, oh, building mechanic. I'm just like, okay, does this have a story or is it just going to be survival or what? Because if it's a story based game, I'll give it a playthrough, see how it is. But if it's just going to be like, here's bits and pieces of story mixed in with this huge survival thing and the game goes on forever, it's going to get a hard pass for me because I just can't take those games anymore. It's fun for a while, but at this point in time, it's just like, how many more ways can you do this and keep it interesting?
Well, I blame World of Warcraft for that shit. So,
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it seems like it's a fun game. I don't know, man. If I play something, I want an ending. I don't want it open-ended. It's like, come on, man. Don't give me blue balls all the time. Let me finish. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I kind of like, I mean, it's like so hard for games to balance it, but I don't know. I feel like there's a few games that did, like, fucking loved, like, Legend of Mana.
God, yeah.
I just love the feeling of, like, you set up the different areas of the world, but then there's still like, there's like still like main stories in each part and stuff, and there's really well written characters, and so.
Yeah, but that's kind of different than just a world building survival mechanic, where you have to build shelter and a fire and cook food. That's just kind of like, hey, let's make our map in this way, and if you do it this specific way or this specific way, something special happens. I mean, Legend of Mana is great, but I don't really think that factors into what all these, I'm going to build a fortress and try to survive the night fucking survival games are.
Well, I don't know. I think, like, I get so tired, though, of, like, these games that are, like, fucking, like, YouTube fodder, for, like Markiplier or whoever to play it and be like, oh, and you're just like, just like screaming into their camera, I'm digging a hole, I'm making a house now, I'm grilling pig meat to make bacon, and you're like, okay.
Can you shut up and play the game, please?
Yeah.
Stop sounding like you had an aneurysm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, nothing gets me angrier than when I go and I get a new game. I want to see it played on YouTube, or I'm about to get a game. I use YouTube as a preview demo place, basically. And all I'm seeing are people talking over the game with their scratchy-ass voices. I'm like, look, can I just find one playthrough of the game that's just the dude playing the game with nobody talking? It seems like such a hard thing to find anymore.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of, I think what was it? I'm trying to remember who posted it, but it was it was that guy that goes by the name that like who the fuck was it? I forget his name. Like, oh, was it Count Dankula? Dankula, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He posted a screen cap of some chick's Twitch feed,
Yeah, it's just a picture of her. It's like half the screen is just her tits, and half the
No,
screen
it's like
her playing the
literally,
game.
it's like 70% are her
Oh
massive
yeah,
like D cup tits,
yeah.
and
And
then
then
like
she has the
No
game over
face,
her face.
no
yeah,
face. Yeah, the
yeah.
game is over her face, but the rest of it is just tit.
It's like
You know,
it's like
and
really.
yeah,
Well, I saw a video on YouTube where a guy was talking about that. He made like a 2-minute long video talking about the fall of Twitch and how it's nothing but instances of that cleavage in a tiny little box with a game.
and of course, I think I saw that one kind of floating around on Twitter too. It went viral too. That did, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, he's so sexist." Oh my god. Oh my
But
god.
he's right.
Yeah, God, so sexist.
What? Oh man.
Oh,
So we got,
You know, one thing though, you know what's funny about that? If anyone calling him sexist, I bet those same people get mad when there's tits inside of a video game. So
No,
if there's tits in a video game, that's sexist. But if there's real live tits on Switch, that's not sexist.
Oh no.
I need a handbook for this so I can figure out what's wrong.
That's empowering. That's what that is. That's empowering.
Oh, thank you for clearing that up.
well, you know, speaking of that kind of
Consider
shit,
yourself educated.
when I was looking at the Bayonetta bundle thing for Switch up on PlayAsia, they literally use a blurb that they grabbed from Polygon, and they put the link to the Polygon article in there. I shit you not, and I just tweeted about it. And I screen capped it, and I'm like, yo, PlayAsia, why are you using a blurb from Polygon on Bayonetta for your store? You know they literally hate like anything to do with sexuality, boobies, anything in video games. Like they literally hate it. And just curious, you know. I wonder if they change it. Let me refresh, see if they change it. No, it's still there. Yep.
Probably some 50-year-old marketing manager who has no idea what you're talking about.
It's fun. It's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, I think it's J-list is usually what Michael ends up shitposting back and forth with. So and
Yeah.
it's pretty funny too. Like you, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll see it and I just start cracking up because it's like, what was the one he did today? It was like, it's like be right over and like he's like grabbing his dick. It's like the Jim Carrey meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
Here,
they fuck-
I'm gonna post it in the Discord. Here.
Yeah, I think they.
Oh, Junkrat freaking
Yeah.
unzipping.
Yeah.
It's like, how about this? Unzips dick.
It was a reply to an ad they done about something with some girls with their mouths open or something. I forgot I posted that.
It's so good. Oh my God.
Those are the best. Those are the best ones too, man. I've kind of noticed that whenever I overthink shit, that's whenever a lot of my stuff kind of flops. So I just casually shitpost anymore.
Yeah. Oh, man. I remember there was that one guy. What was his? He was like some random Twitter user who was like trying so hard to fucking like. What was his name again? I saw him in our mentions somewhere. Where was he? Hold on. Like he was like literally. Oh yeah, this guy. Well, you know, I shouldn't. He's like literally like a literal. I hate sounding like a dick, but he's like literally a literal nobody. You know? And he's like, I can't believe Mitch Gamer was trying to be a serious news outlet, and they're posting this filth, this awful content on their Twitter, talking about boobies and dingleberries and ding dongs and. I'm just like, dude, who are you? I'm like who? Like what?
He's the 65-year-old pastor of his local church. You know, give him some credit.
Ironically, I'm wondering if it's a literal puppet account. Well, no, he's got like 7,000 something tweets. It's a dude who is using a. I guess he's black. His avatar is a black dude. And, I don't know. He's like. He's
Wait, a black
basically.
guy that doesn't like tits?
He's a giant Puritan. He's like a massive Puritan. And,
If you're listening to this and you think we're a serious outlet, guess what? We're only 50% there. Half the other time we're making fun of each other and shit posting.
yeah.
You know, I don't mean to interject here, and I told you, Brandon, before the thing started that I like a serious website, right? But you have to at least have some. You have to at least have a little bit of fun. I mean,
Dude, I just noticed he has a video of himself trying to go Super Saiyan in a bathroom.
I am a Super Saiyan.
We do not condone doxing. We do not condone.
Dude,
do we condone
I
don't anymore.
Here,
this is all going to get removed from the podcast.
Here, I'm going to link it in the general chat. There you go. In our private Slack. So we're not doxing him, okay?
Oh yeah.
But that's the guy.
I mean, he's posting on his fucking public Twitter. I mean,
yeah, it's on his public Twitter. I mean, whatever. But it's. I mean, the dude was like trying so hard to be all edgy and like drive by tweets. My tweet.
Oh yeah, this guy's a YouTuber. Yeah, I know. I think I passed you one of his tweets a while back, and I was like, man, who is this?
Oh boy, look at this. Hey, look, David Jaffe's like, hey, fuck you, Donald Trump. It's like, Jesus Christ, like really, Jaffe? Can you go back to making video games? Like, make maybe something good. Like, just something.
I'm gonna tag you in something I posted on my Facebook, just to cheer you up.
Anyway, let's get back to the gaming news. Sorry, like I keep Twitter up when we're doing the podcast,
Yeah.
And whatchamacallit, and I keep now this whole shit. Now all people are like,
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing the same feed you are. Don't worry.
So these guys are actually pretty cool. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter studio. I always forget their name, but they're headed by a really cool guy, Adrian. His last name is like some ridiculous Slavic nonsense, but they're the Astronauts. That's their studio name. But they announced a new game called Witchfire, and it looks pretty cool. It's actually a shooter, and. It's very. Adrian Schmlialers.
I can't pronounce his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. If you ever listen to this, I can't pronounce your name. So, anyway,
I need to follow him on here too. This is a new account. I need to find him. Adrian. I know it's Adrian something.
Yeah. So anyway, that's cool. I think that's for like PC, PS4, Xbox One. I just set it up too. Let me double check. Come on.
Yeah, I go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I had a brain fart. I forgot what I was going to say.
Hey, it's only PC so far. Huh. Interesting.
I liked Painkiller, and when I saw that, I just thought it was going to be like person survival horror thing, like fucking evil, honestly. But it's a beautiful fucking trailer. But the moment that I saw, and by the makers of Bulletstorm and Painkiller, I'm just like, oh yeah, fucking awesome.
So he's one of the People Can Fly developers. Okay, Painkiller was for the longest time one of my favorite first-person shooters. Now I'm interested in that.
Yeah, like Painkiller was great because it was shut off your mind. There's 1.5 million things on the screen, and you just come with very, very fun ways to kill everything.
It's been said to death, but I always say Painkiller was what Doom 3 should have been.
Oh yeah, except for the really, really shitty fucking poser based cutscenes. Other than that, the game was awesome.
Well, it was European, so they're not really that good at doing that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this game. Yeah, this game does look hot though. They basically make you think it's like another walking simulator, and then they're like, no. Then they pull out a gun and starts killing stuff, and you're like, all right, cool.
I mean, that trailer was very, very freaking pretty, but fucking 40 seconds in, it's fucking on, and I'm already seeing it and getting Painkiller vibes from it, and that right there just makes me excited.
Yeah, because I want more shooters like that. One of the reasons I really loved the new Doom was because it was just a popcorn shooter. A plot is nice, you know, a story is nice, but if I'm getting a shooter, I just want to kill lots of shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Basically, once everything went fucking Call of Duty route for me, I just kind of stopped playing shooters all to begin with. The last one that I played and I loved was Unreal Tournament, and I still love the original Unreal Tournament.
Oh god, yeah.
But it's like once everything had like loadouts and perks and freaking player matchmaking, much rather than servers, and I just kind of stopped. But if I got like Doom, a really good, you know, sit down, run and gun fucking action game where I didn't really have to think, I just had to like blow everything up. Fucking sans the new Wolfenstein. I really didn't like the new Wolfenstein, but
I keep hearing it's like really. Ugh.
I beat it in like the day that I bought it.
See, that's the reason why I didn't get it. I played the first one, and that was a really short game. I think it was about 6 or 7 hours I clocked in. And it left me wanting more. And I'm not going to spend $60 on a 5-hour game.
Yeah.
If they want to put the new Wolfenstein on sale for, you know, $19.99, yeah, I would buy it. I would buy it just to play it for a day or two, beat it, and that would be it.
Well, you know, you could buy something like the Devil May Cry HD collection, which is now coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Does it have Dante in it?
Oh yeah, it's the original 3 games. It's coming March 13th of next year.
It was a poor joke. I was saying, you know, the little meme where Net with Dante from T3. I failed at memeing. Sorry.
Nah, it went over my head for a second because a lot of people were like, you know, like, yeah, man, fuck the Dante, which is the the fucking dude from DMC, Devil May Cry.
The emo-looking one.
Yeah, the one that's like fuck you, and you're like
the
like
edgelord one, the really edgy one.
dude. There was dialogue in that game where I kid you not, it was like fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and you're like what?
See the Ninja Theory Devil May Cry, you know, it's a good game, but it shouldn't have been Devil May Cry at all. You could replace it with any other characters, and it would have been a good game. Like it's, I mean, I just fucking, but trying to make that into a remake, or not like a remake, but a reboot of the original Devil May Cry, you can't reboot classic fucking characters that way. Not whatsoever. I mean, Dante, yeah, he's had, you know, a shitty game, Devil May Cry 2. But he's still iconic. And the moment that you turn fucking, you know, a half-demon dude that looks like 28 to 35 years old, white hair, a gigantic sword, fucking badass attitude, into a little whiny brat emo kid inside of this industrial goth culture where demons are fucking each other and fucking selling products to the masses, mind control, and one of the boss fights is literally jumping into fucking the Fox News mainframe to beat up like a gigantic head. It was just like, it wasn't Devil May Cry. It wasn't. I'm actually happy to see the HD collection come out, but I want to see like the original set continued more so than I would like to see a HD collection. That's just me. Like, if the HD collection is being released for the whole purpose that they're, you know, Capcom pulls their head out of their ass and starts making good games again, which I played Monster Hunter World. I loved it. Let's hope that it's good on release. But if they start pulling their head out of their ass and, you know, returning to their roots, if the HD collection just says to them, hey, you know, let's make a real Devil May Cry game, that's a continuation, I would be really happy for the HD collection to come out. But, you know, we'll see. At least that's for me. I mean,
to piggyback off that though, I should have included the link, but oh wow, PlayAsia actually responded to me. Wait a minute. Oh my god.
Lots of chemo. Yeah.
Christ.
That was bad. That was badass.
God. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Oh shit!
Somebody said cancer survivor here. Burn. Oh my god, did they actually update it? Let me see. Did they? No, it's still up on there. They probably don't know which one I'm talking about. Maybe I have to tell them.
Yeah, link it for me.
Here I'm gonna link it to them and be like, by the way, can you reopen pre-orders for like 5 seconds so I can pre-order it?
Yeah, and also have them like hit us up too with shit. I want to review their shit. Give me free stuff, motherfucker. Yeah.
Wait, can you reopen pre-orders for like 10 seconds? So we can pre-order it. Oh man, I totally missed that. That's amazing. Oh man,
The
that's
real
funny.
question is, are they going to remove the polygon link?
Well, they have to now. I mean, who knows? But yeah, I was gonna. So Kotaku, I'm really trying to not, go off the rails again with politics and all this nonsense. But Kotaku is part of that fucking bullshit, shit stain network. And then, so they shared an article from whatever fucking Mother Jones or whatever, about the Democrat winning Alabama. But it's in the top of Kotaku's website, and I'm like, really? So I screen capped it, and I was thinking about posting it onto Vintage Gamer Twitter and be like, gaming news .jpg, and then just
I think the worst thing to happen to this hobby is there used to be a website. I don't know if it's still up, but remember when GamePolitics.biz came out? This would have been like 04, 05, and everybody was like, "Oh, look, video games are becoming." It was in a response to that Jack Thompson thing, and they thought, and that's the worst thing to happen is just shoehorning politics into this hobby, and I shouldn't see politics when going to a website, even if it's politics I agree with. I don't want to see it in my gaming website.
Oh wow, they actually responded.
Gamingnews.jpg, that's a good one, right?
PlayAsia said no promises, but I'll inquire on your behalf.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah, let's get back to the gaming news. That was funny. PlayAsia are good folks. They have a lot of cool stuff if you haven't checked out. We're trying to do more unboxing and stuff like that. And I did the Mario Odyssey sleeve thingy, and it's pretty cool. They have a lot of nice stuff, So we're trying to do more stuff like that, like affiliate links. So say, hey, here's this thing. We got it through them. Go check it out. So we'll have more news about that, in the coming weeks. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, Dragon's Crown Pro is coming west. We all saw it coming, but super exciting. For a fact, the day that fucking comes out, we're having a launch party.
Oh, I was expecting you to say the day it comes out, we revisit the same controversies again.
No, we'll do that too. We'll keep for you guys. We will keep our eyes out for all the different shit that's coming out and just come up with fucking memes and responses and post it on social media network.
She's grown 2 inches. She's grown bigger in HD. This is not right. It should have gotten smaller.
Yeah. Well, we have to do that. Plus, we have to play it, local couch co-op, and then if we can't have people come by, like say Rory and Michael, we can also have you guys play with us online too. Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna get that the day it comes out. I'm gonna be fucking playing the living shit out of that.
Oh hell yeah!
I love those types of beat 'em up games. The problem that I had with fucking Dragon's Crown is I can never find someone to play with me. Ever.
Yeah.
Like I love the game, but that's one of those games that you really with you to have fun. I mean, all those types of games, whether it be, you know, Final Fight, Streets of Rage, those games are meant for people. So, like, if we're doing an online thing, let's just fucking stream it for everyone, get drunk and shit talk the entire way through it.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's gonna be a lot of
game's fun. That game's fun as fuck. But we gotta have, you know, someone being the dwarf so we can fucking make fun of his nipples all the time and fucking we gotta have someone playing the elf so, you know, we have someone to make fun of being flat chested. You know, we gotta have fucking the sorceress and her gigantic tits going around everywhere just so we can fucking, you know, talk about how like the game is nothing but tits forever and just pull out our inner Kotaku fucking polygons and shit like that.
Is there a release date for the game?
I don't think so. I'm also going to quote tweet the PlayAsia burn thingy to the Niche Gamer Twitter. Because I have to, you know. I'm going to say also daily reminder that PlayAsia are the superior distributor. So there we go. Kill some shit posting in live real time.
Yeah, buddy. I piggybacked on your meme there too, so
Yeah, I saw that.
I love doing shit like this. But anyway,
yeah.
Come to stuff.
So got a
Next
couple
thing.
more little blurbs.
Yeah.
Megaman 11 was announced, and it was like, holy fuck, dude! Like,
Fuck
people,
yes, that is so cool. That's like my
Yeah.
childhood, man.
Yeah.
Part of my childhood was whenever I was a kid. When I got my first Nintendo, whenever I was like 6 or 7 years old. One of the things that I'd done a lot of times was every weekend we went to the video store and we would rent games because we was too poor to buy games. You know,
I know about that.
you know, like we went to a video store to rent them. You know, we rent them for the weekend, like, you know, $4 or $5 for the weekend. You know, and one of the games that I used to get, well, actually, a couple of the games I used to get was Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3 for Nintendo. That was like one of the normal ones that I would get. I would like play the shit out of them and just play them over and over and over until I beat them, you know. And between that and Final Fantasy, that was pretty much my childhood. Mega Man is like my childhood. Mega Man, Final Fantasy, that stuff, yeah. So this Mega Man news is great. I love it.
You know, I used to do that too, and there were a couple games that I rented so much that my parents ended up getting them for me. I was just wasting my money on them. It was DuckTales and Super C, Super Contra.
Nice.
Because I remember I came home one time and it was waiting on my bed, and she's like, "I'm tired of you renting this. Here's the damn game. Stop." But yeah, you know, and another thing is, I'm sure you remember this now, like Link to the Past. I never bought Link to the Past. I didn't have the money for it, but I beat that game by continually renting it. And the problem is, and this is one thing that always pissed me off, there'd be other people who would get the game and delete your damn saves. So you had to either beat the game in about 3 days' time or hope that nobody rented it in between the weekends that you had the game.
Oh man, I used to get so pissed because whenever the Super Nintendo first come out, that same video store that I used to go to used to rent out Super Nintendos, like the actual consoles. You know, like you would get like a bundle deal where you get like 2 or 3 games and like the console, and you would spend like $10, $15 for the weekend or something, you know. And they ended up doing kind of like what your parents done. You know, they ended up buying me a Super Nintendo because we was just fucking wasting money, you know. So they ended up buying me a Super Nintendo. But yeah.
I actually legit miss just playing classic games, and like for a while during college I was collecting lots of classic games. So my divorce is actually finally it's like at the literal end in terms of all the financial stuff. So I'm gonna be signing paperwork soon, and then I'll be free, and then I'll have more money, you know, for my own personal stuff, and the site's doing better too. So you know, we're gonna do some more cool stuff. So
I already started you back on the path of fucking getting your classic games and shit like that. No shit. I gave him a nice freaking brand new fucking pristine copy of Zelda 63.
Yeah,
so
it's really
he's
nice.
set to go.
I mean, well, I think I told you this story too, right? I really tried to not bring my own personal life into stuff with the site, and especially if it's, depressing stuff. But short version, my ex was so crazy, and she hated my love for gaming, and I really don't want to paint the stereotypical, like nagging girlfriend, wife, whatever, that hates gaming and hates the fact that I'm playing games, whatever. No, but I was irresponsible with money for a little bit, and and I've gotten a lot better, obviously, but she made me sell a shitload of my games. I'm talking like basically a huge, like, almost everything. I hid some games and stuff, and but anyway, long story short, I sold like most of my PS3 games. I sold a crap ton of my PS2 games, and a lot of my, almost like all of my GameCube games and my Wii games. I sold like a shitload of stuff. Just wasted tons of money. So never do it. Don't do it. Just waste
I had a similar problem because you remember when we went to that? It was the summer of 2014 when Niche Gamers were starting, and we went to that con up where I used to live in New Jersey, up near Glassboro. That guy was selling retro games there.
The one I'm trying to think.
Yeah. It was. I can't believe you don't remember this. We're the only time I've ever met you in real life.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That was a while ago.
Shortly before that, I had to sell. My ex made me sell all of my 8 and 16-bit games because she wanted me to complete my degree, which, as we know, I did, but it's absolutely fucking worthless. But that's what she wanted because she wanted. That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into. You can read my Twitter if you want to know that story. But I really regret that because all my 8-bit, my 16-bit games, my Saturn games, I sold my Panzer Dragoon Saga. I was able to fund my degree with that sales, but I tell you, I wish I had those games back. I can't even look at retro games now without really getting pissed off. I still have my TurboGrafx CD games. I do. I would not sell them because they're very special to me. But from 32-bit on up, I have my PS1, PS2, Dreamcast, shit like that. But the 8-bit games
So
and 16-bit
you and I
games,
are-
don't worry.
Dude,
You and I are worst enemies then, because I own all the old games and you sold all yours.
Yeah,
well, it was against his will.
It was, and the thing is, that was the thing that earned me a lot of respect. Anytime someone gave me shit and they're like, "Oh man, you don't know nothing about games," I would take a picture of my classic wall with a mint condition Earthbound, a mint condition Panzer Dragoon Saga, all this shit, and people go fuck, because that was my life. But like I told you, my real aspiration was to get married and have a kid like you do. But of course that fell through, and now I don't have that, and I don't have my game, so fuck me. Wow. I know it sounds depressing. I know it sounds incredibly depressing, and in other words, I'm saying I can sympathize with what you went through.
Yeah. I
had the exact opposite. When I was engaged, and we moved in together, I'm like, this is my room of just activities that I want to do. Then we have the master bedroom, and you have your room. So her room would end up just being like a gigantic closet, and I had inside of my own room, like wall-to-wall games, and she walks inside there, drops jaw, and she's just like, got Mario 3, got this. And then she started buying classic video games for me. I'm just like, fuck it. So I guess I was the lucky one out of all this shit with collecting, because I actually had someone who fucking loved video games as much as I did.
Look in the Discord. I just saw this on my on my Twitter.
I'm scared.
Jesus Christ! Look at those eyes. Anyway, but no, dude, it fucking sucks, man. But hey, at least you can get them back. It sucks. It's basically wasting money. Like that's exactly what we both did. And I mean, I've got my son, which I love him more than anything. Like, I mean, it's something you can't really explain until you've had a kid. And I mean, some parents are just fucking sociopaths. They don't really care. But I mean, I really love my son, and that was the only good thing to have come from that, you know. And I'm looking at it like, you know what, I'm gonna build up a collection that I'm proud of, and to be honest, a lot of the PS3 games I had, I just fucking got them when they were cheap, and it's like I didn't care for half of this shit, you know. I just had a big ridiculous collection. So anyway, but oh, and when you were talking earlier, Carl, when I was laughing, it was because PlayAsia tweeted a GIF in response to our thing saying they're the superior distributor. It's a GIF of Bender. He's like, "Shut up, baby! I know it," and he's it's just amazing.
So anyway, going back to topic, which one is your guys' favorite Mega Man game?
Oh god,
3.
man.
Oh, all the Mega Man X series.
You know, I
All
have
of
to
them.
say, I have to agree with Carl. Probably 3. Yeah,
Proto Man.
yeah. I loved 2 and 3, especially for both the bosses, the powers, and the music. I feel like the themes.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. The music, yeah. Mega Man 2, the
Oh,
music,
man.
fucking amazing. I mean,
Oh,
Dr. Wily's theme is just like cemented into like just the whole gaming, I guess, lexicon or whatever. You know, it's like just classic. First time I heard it, I was like, hell yeah, this rocks. You know, so.
you just like unzip dick, and you're just like,
Yeah. Because it came out in what, like 88 or 89, didn't it? So I mean, it's been out for a long
Yeah.
time. I can't remember exactly when it came out.
You're still like, what's happening in my pants? What's happening? Oh man. Anyway,
You know, I can remember as a kid playing the original Mega Man, and two things in that it took me several months till I beat it. And the two things that really stuck with me were those damn disappearing blocks in the Iceman stage,
Mm.
and just the
Oh,
Gutsman stage. In you know, like you had the platforms and Gutsman stage. I hated that shit.
Oh God, yeah.
And
I've never rage quit. I've rage quit that game so many times.
I used to have so many problems against the yellow blob guy, and I used to subscribe to EGM back when they first started, and I remember they were the ones that had that trick where if you hit the pause button, and when you're using Electman's power, it'll keep hitting that yellow blob guy, and that was the only way I could beat that game, by just hitting that pause button so that it would keep registering another hit.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. We have one little bit of. Well, actually, I also want to throw in there that whatchamacallit, the Mega Man Legacy collections are both coming to Switch, and what was it? All of the Mega Man X games are coming to modern platforms too. So it's a lot of Mega Man, a lot of amazing stuff.
A lot of nostalgia coming for sure
Yeah.
for 2018. So yeah.
Or does this mean they're going to make a new Mega Man?
Well,
I guess.
I know that 11 is basically like pretty much like destroying whatever Mighty Number 9 could have been, you know.
Oh man, yeah, Mighty Number 9 is just, yeah.
Well, you know, oh, you know, I totally forgot to mention with Devil May Cry. There's this big rumor for Devil May Cry 5. I've reported on it. You can go look it up. I'll probably throw it in the links with the article, but basically the short version, you know, it's Itsuno is back. You know, he was the director for this second one, but he's back with the same team that did 2, 3, and 4. And they're making this new Devil May Cry. It's literally going to be the 5th game. It's a literal sequel. Dante, Virgil, Nero, they're all back. All the voice actors are back.
So it's actually confirmed. It's not a rumor anymore.
Well, no, it's still a rumor, but
Okay.
there's a lot of info there, and it's like it seems like it's if it's like fabrication, it's like really.
That's what I was about to say. If it's like if it's a lie, they're going along. So yeah.
Yeah, like I would be pretty pissed off, you know.
Mhm.
So, anyway, so last bit of news from Software, they came out and they said I think it was like they were asking them like, hey, uh, you know, um, is Armored Core done? It's been a while, blah blah blah, and they said no. We've never said that. There are no plans to end Armored Core right now. Please be patient. That's basically all they said. But you know, the worry was that it's just going to be all the Souls crap and all the other stuff they're doing. But yeah, like they're definitely they're going to come out with something. I would think, hopefully. So.
Well, they have all that money now, so now that it allows them some freedom just to screw around and do what they want.
Oh yeah. I mean, all they need to do is like go back to just the core stuff of what made Armored Core, the core stuff of what made it really good. I mean, I think they made some weird choices with the later games, and they tried to make it too cinematic and stuff. And I think they just need to just focus on like just cool parts and just making cool fucking mechs. Anyway, I'm getting all stuffy. For those who haven't been following my Twitter, I have like a sinus infection, and I'm almost over it, but it still keeps kind of coming back. So man, it's been rough. So anyway, let's talk about the topic of the week a bit. We're a little over the time. I wanted to have this done by like an hour 30, but we're probably gonna roll into like 2 hours anyway. I mean, it's been a while since we've done the podcast. So the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo announced today they sold over 10 million units worldwide since it launched on March 3rd. That's about 9 months and like a week or two, I think, that they've sold 10 million units. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I just wanted to just talk about the Switch. I mean, the problem is only 3 of us have one, but Michael has seen our content and stuff like that. So we just want to talk about the Switch, what it's done right, the games that have been good, and what it needs, stuff like that. So
What it needs is online. That's really the only thing it needs. Especially, look, here's the funny thing. When they announced Titan Quest, I have a good friend of mine I've known for over 20 years, and we talk on Steam all the time, and he moved away to Colorado. And he told me, we're getting Titan Quest, we're playing it on the Wii. And I said, well, or not, I meant Switch. And I told him only if they get some decent online, because if it's single player, we're just going to be playing by ourselves. But a game like that, I mean, I played Diablo 3 on the Xbox 360. I know that's sacrilegious and all, but it actually controlled very well. And I think a game like that on the Switch, that's a system seller to a lot of action RPG PC guys. I'm a PC Master Race guy. I bought a Switch because of SMT5. But if they get a nice Xbox Live or PSN kind of network going, and you can play a game like Titan Quest online, you fucking forget it.
The moment I saw it too, I'm like, dude, like having a portable Diablo clone type game, fucking lose it. It just makes sense.
That'll open the door for other games of that type. It does well, then maybe Grinding Gear Games will say, hey, we ported Path of Exile to the Xbox One, let's do it for the Switch. And then maybe with what Titan Lore, I guess, is the name of the company now that made Titan Quest and Grim Dawn, they might say, hey, let's put Grim Dawn out on the Switch. Man, I'll be in heaven at that point.
For me, with the Switch, I like it. I really don't undock my Switch. It's always connected to my TV. Mainly because I live alone. I don't have friends in my area just because I'm always fucking working. And realistically, I don't really play games to begin with. So there's no point in me unhooking it. The Switch had a bunch of really good games that came out. I know that some people do not agree with Breath of the Wild being VGA Game of the Year. But, it's still for what it did really well. And Mario Odyssey is a great game and such. Xenoblade 2 is probably the one or Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the one that I've been playing the most. But I don't know. I just the Switch is a weird system for me, at least, because it's not that I like it or I dislike it. It's just kind of there, like the Wii U with me right now. I mean, I notice a lot more with it than I do benefits, like the battery life running out. Xenoblade 2 has like a really bad pop-in problem with textures.
Yeah, when you
After
load, when you
yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you're in handheld.
Yeah, and being in handheld, that fucking tablet area of the actual gets pretty fucking hot, and it scares me sometimes. I actually have left Joy-Con. I see a lot more problems with the Switch than probably most people do. It's not stopping me from actually liking it, but I'm happy for Nintendo. Nintendo is a company that, no matter what happens inside the company businesses, Nintendo would probably be the one that I'm the most that ever actually closed. But I'm kind of inside the boat where it's just like Nintendo just did the same thing. They're not doing anything really extravagant, but at the same point in time, they're not sitting inside the background, kind of like how freaking Xbox One is doing right now, just saying, "Oh yeah, me too, guys, I'm here." At least they're trying some new things.
Yeah, I mean, they it's funny because I get torn between wanting my game console to be just a game console, but also wanting to do, to be like kind of like a set-top box at the same time. And I feel like I can't remember. I don't think the PS4 has a browser, does it? I don't think it does. Like just a
What, a web browser?
just like
Yeah,
a
it does.
Oh,
It does.
it has a web browser. Okay, cool. I mean, it shows how much I use it. Like I don't really give a fuck, but I feel like the Switch being a portable, um, there's so much potential for it to be like a really awesome all-in-one device, right? But I agree with you guys. Like, it gets hot sometimes when you're in portable mode, and there is performance issues when you're in portable mode because you're obviously not connected to a dedicated power source. Um, I mean, there's one of the biggest things I think though that is a concern of mine is that Nintendo has to hit that parity with Xbox and PlayStation. They have to hit all the same notes, all the same feature sets, but I think they're not going to. I think we know Nintendo, we know how they are. They need to hit, party chat achievements, you know, and it's stuff that some people don't give a shit about, but a lot of people want that, and it's like for one, I never thought that I would care about them, but I really enjoy achievements and trophies and etc. I enjoy
We
collecting them.
we just got used to it over time. That it's something familiar to us, and now that the Nintendo doesn't have it, it's just kind of alien, basically. But here, when you were talking, I was thinking about one major issue that I had with the Switch. Take Breath of the Wild, put it in, have it in TV mode, and play it to where it also changes your resolution and such, right? And you notice the entire frame rate dropping issue that people were making big deals about a long time ago. Then I want you to do the same thing with Xenoblade, but have it docked first and then undock it and play it and watch what happens. That's a major problem that I have with Switch is the consistency of the actual tablet to TV mode. Because I'll be honest, Xenoblade 2 tablet mode looks like complete shit. TV looks fucking beautiful, but at the exact difference with Breath of the Wild is that TV frame rate runs like shit. Tablet mode, fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's I've noticed that too. Like it's seriously a problem. Like, and it's funny. I've barely played Xenoblade 2 on TV, like barely. And on handheld, like it's pretty. Like you can see, like it's severely fucking just hampered down. Like it kind of sucks. So, but I guess that's kind of like how they, how they have to compromise for it. It's like, but I don't know. Um, but I think overall though, like their whole paid online, like they really have to bring their A game, and I don't know if they will. You know, I really hope they do. So,
You
I
know, the
think
one thing. Oh, the one thing I really look forward to, and the reason I bought into it, I'm hoping, and when I say this, people get pissed at me and they say I'm full of shit, but which I usually am. But it always pisses me off that Nintendo and Square and all these companies make their RPGs for the Nintendo handhelds, the DS, the 3DS. I want to see, now that the Switch is kind of like the heir apparent to the 3DS, even though they say it's not. I would like to see games that would like this. What's this game that just came to Radiant? The one where you're time traveling. They're doing an HD remake of it. It came out on
Radiant
the DS.
Historia.
That's it. I would like to see that come out on the Switch. Now we have Romancing Saga 2. That's getting a Switch version. That's a game that was on a handheld. And we have Project Octopath Traveler, which in any other universe
so good.
would be on a handheld, but that's coming out on the Switch.
Well,
So I'm hoping that these companies, instead of just shoveling their games onto the handheld, say, hey, the Switch is a handheld, guys. Why don't we just do it for that? Then we have the best of both worlds.
Well, you got to remember that, the 3DS, I'm not even going to go inside the PlayStation Vita. Sorry, Vita lovers, but, the 3DS won, and it had all this. Of what I'm going to say is that the 3DS basically was a lot cheaper to develop for, and you didn't need as much resources. I mean, it was an aging piece of hardware for a long fucking time now, and it still is. It's cheap to develop for now. It's easy to pump out games for it. Meanwhile, when you take like PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and they have these high, graphics, hard-hitting games, unless you're like an indie developer that wants to, use 4 colors and say, this is a fucking person. Put that on the screen, and it looks like utter and complete garbage, and you're trying to peddle it off as 8-bit. But, going off of that is that the Switch itself, it is going to, I think it would probably be a little bit cheaper more than like PlayStation, but at the same point in time, the Switch's technology is not really down low enough for the 3DS to make it that much more easier to develop the game for, unless you're doing some type of indie or retro title and you have it as a big name so it could sell.
Well, I'm not really
Romancing Saga and stuff like that, but
I'm not the indie stuff. I don't want. I'm talking like, say, Etrian Odyssey. I love those games, but because of my carpal tunnel, I can't play the very unergonomic 3DS for more than 5 minutes. So what I want to see is the next Etrian Odyssey come out on Switch.
That's what
I
I'm
want to
saying.
see the next Bravely Default. I would love for that to come out on Switch.
Nice.
See,
The indie stuff, they can keep that. I don't want it. I just want the main AAA JRPGs that they normally shovel on the handhelds, put them on the Switch.
No, that's the point that I'm getting to, is that, realistically, I'm just going to summarize what I was going to say, is that I would much rather see Nintendo turn around and make the Switch into basically 3DS, where the tablet is the touchscreen and your TV is, the main viewer. I realistically would much rather see that than just to see games that were originally going to be on the 3DS just shoved in and said, it's now a Switch game. Me personally, I have a major problem with companies that just turn around and say, oh, we're developing this for this system, but now we're going to throw it on this system instead, which is newer pieces of technology, and just call it a fucking day.
I could take that, sort of like the Super Game Boy for the Super Nintendo.
Exactly.
Put it in, because, I want to play the new Strange Journey. I went through Strange Journey when that came out, and now they have the Strange Journey HD or Remix or whatever the frig it's called. And I want to play it, but on a handheld, it's not going to work. I want it on the Switch. I want to be able to play it on my TV.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. The 3DS was always uncomfortable for me, and I got the 2DS, which somewhat kind of made it a bit more comfortable. But I don't know. I want like everything to be on the Switch now, and one of my biggest gripes was that the 3DS, like Rory, you mentioned, like it's easier to develop for, and I totally agree. But I got so tired of like developers who will put out these games that have these weird, like they use 3D models and all this stuff, but they look like shit. Like it's low res and it's so shitty looking, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. And meanwhile, like PS Vita would have full 3D games that looked crisp and HD and gorgeous, but the Vita fucking died. Um, so I'm hoping the Switch will force developers to start, having to use better hardware, and I don't know. It just
Well,
bums me out.
it's definitely revitalized whatever handheld market there was, because the last time I fucked with handheld was when the Nintendo 3DS was out, and like Bravely Default was a big thing, and that's like the last I messed with 3DS. That was it. That was like my last handheld thing. And I just really ain't thought about it much really since. So
Well, that's the problem with handheld systems. You get a high profile release that you're interested in, and then after that, that's pretty much it. I mean,
yeah, I mean it was that and Golden Sun. That was about the only two things that I remember from 3DS really.
yeah, I mean, I went to a release thing, Bravely Default, with a friend who wanted to try to make a free copy of the game, and it ended up being like this gigantic street pass jerk, basically. But after that, like GameStop had no events whatsoever until fucking this entire Pokemon event was going on. It just the handheld games were great for games that are on the go, but everything was just so hit and miss for it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Yeah. You don't get very many, like I mentioned earlier. You don't get very many Golden Suns. You don't get very many of the Bravely Defaults. So
Yeah. I mean,
it's
realistically, for me, the last handheld game that I bought was SMT Apocalypse, because I'm also a big SMT fan. But no one was really ever in for that. But the moment Pokemon came out, everyone was just like, "Oh God, Pokemon! I gotta have it! I gotta fuck Pokemon Go!" And then you would hear the bitches and complaints that Gen 1 was better than everything and all that other stuff. And they have big events and give out like fucking glittering Pokemon and shit like that. But as it relates to the Switch, I would much rather see that the Switch just be a console. Just be a console. Release your Mario Karts, release, like, if Smash comes out for it, release Smash and stuff like that. And be a console where you have your big games on the go. But instead of just constantly popping out shit, just don't do it. Just don't fucking have some company turn around and say, "Oh, we're porting fucking this handheld cell phone game to fucking Switch and make it a full release." Just Nintendo, please don't.
Like Romancing Saga 2.
Yeah, I have a Japanese card of Romancing Saga. I'm happy that those older games that were never inside of America are being released. But I personally am just one of those people who are tired of just seeing someone turn around and basically say, "Yeah, this game we released 10 years ago, we're just going to apply a patch and then put it in an emulator and then shit it out on the system."
I do agree with that.
yeah.
And I still want to see the AAA things like Etrian Odyssey, the SMT spin-offs like Strange Journey or Soul Hackers. I want to see that stuff. I'm not saying port Soul Hackers to Switch, but it would be nice to have like, oh look, Soul Hackers 2, or we're going to revisit it, and then have that come out for Switch.
No, I would love to see that too, but that goes back in the line because, like, for example, the SMT line of games, it's still fucking SMT. It's actually a lot more high profile than people think, even though it's a fucking niche game, mainly with the hardcore RPG crowd. And now people generate interest inside of it because of Persona 5. I mean, I would love to see like Soul Hackers. I would love to see all that stuff. But if they're going to actually do it and they want it on the 3DS, Nintendo, fucking release it on the Switch. Make the tablet the touch screen, make the TV the big screen. You're not losing too much money by doing that way. If you can find a way to do it, just make an emulator. No one fucking cares. Re-release it. Just don't shit something else out that's just like a half-ass port of the 3DS one so people on the Switch can play it. Please. That's all that I want. No fucking, like, just port over bullshit and call it a day, because we're starting to see way too much of that now, whether it be from PC to console or console to PC.
I think the thing about the Switch is that there's been obviously a noticeable influx of indies, but I don't know if it's going to get that bad. I hope not, but I think the Switch is going to be... It's going to be interesting. Like, I really feel like it's becoming like a pretty solid RPG machine.
It is.
But obviously, I think the biggest problem that the Switch is going to have is that, and we're seeing it already, like, Game X is announced for PC, PS4, Xbox One. And it's like, what about Switch? And then they're like, no. Like Devil May Cry HD Collection. Those are old games. But some people are like, there's no way the Switch could still do 60 FPS in handheld. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Even for older games. Like, it's not possible. So
I don't know. It's a pretty well built unit, man. Nintendo don't fuck around when it comes to. That's one thing I got to give Nintendo. I mean, for all the years that they, have been just kind of just silently plugging it forward, doing their thing, when it comes to hardware, Nintendo's pretty fucking good, man.
Dude, Michael,
what?
God fucking damn it! Somebody just retweeted one of your Discord links from Twitter. And it's like, join our Discord, shitpost with us. And it's like, attack upon my Christian server.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it. Son of a bitch. Oh, my God. That's so dumb. Here, I'm going to post it in Discord. It's like son of a bitch. Oh, God. It's so stupid. Oh, man.
But now, like I was saying though, man, Nintendo's hardware, they've always been like they've been really good with their shit. It's like, and lately it seems like you got Xbox is kind of going with the whole 4K thing. They're trying to push the 4K, 4K. And then you got PlayStation is kind of doing the whole exclusives, this exclusives that and everything, and fucking Nintendo is just kind of hanging back, just be like, let's make a fun game, let's make a good unit for it to play on, and that's it. And look at fucking Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, it just exploded, so,
But you said the hardware was pretty solid. I don't really think that the hardware is solid. Because if it was solid, then we would see something constant between handheld to TV mode. I mean, the actual GPU in the game is the Tegra processor, which was originally based inside of cell phone. It's their own custom Tegra processor, which is why I'm scared of all those ports that I told you about. It's, and there's already a storage problem with the Switch if you don't buy a micro SD card to put inside of there. It only has 32 gigabytes.
Okay, so on the memory side, it's kind of weak, I guess.
They're doing fine with the actual graphics now, but what's going to happen in the next few years?
What I think might happen, and it's going to be very interesting if you see this, because I think there's been a couple of games that have done it, where the game will only support docked, or I think it was, what was it? They only supported docked and tabletop. I don't know. I can't remember, but I think that might start happening for if they're like, hey, we want to have a game that has ridiculous performance, but there's no way you can match that in handheld. And
true.
But then that does to Nintendo Switch what the Kinect did to the Xbox One, where they say, oh, look, this is a major feature. We're not going to back away from it. This is what we're all about. And then 2 years later, it's like, yeah, we're not all about that anymore.
Oh, yeah. They discontinued it completely. They're not even... Yeah, they got a fair point.
Well,
but the thing is, though, is you got to think, though, Microsoft didn't really push it. They kind of pushed it, but they didn't. And that's the thing where Microsoft has a lot of failings is they try to get their fingers in too many things at once, because they're so fucking huge and they're just so just like ingrained in like so many things that sometimes they just like the scale bound thing.
Well,
That's a perfect example.
You remember
it's like,
that E3? That was a big meme where they had a thing of Bender going switch, or no, excuse me, connect, and that was a big thing because that whole E3, the year after they came out, it was all Connect.
Yep, and it's like they didn't really focus on the finer details. Now, it's like I got people coming into, chat and phone and everything, wanting to know where their free adapter is and everything on my end. It's like they're not even making them anymore, man. I don't know what to tell you. So
I'm just hoping. At the end of the day, I'm just hoping that it becomes a JRPG machine because of the handheld nature, and that's why I bought it, because it seems like these companies love putting JRPGs on handhelds. So if it attracts them, then that's great.
There is a good video that were prime example of that. If I can find it, I'll find it later, but I'll try to hunt it down. There's an interview by Yoko Taro, the near guy. He was interviewed saying that the reason why a lot of these JRPGs and these kind of niche games like that are feeling like the middle ground, because you got the ones that flop and then you got the ones that do super good, and then you got games like Nier that kind of ride that middle, and they do really, really well and perform on multiple angles, and JRPGs kind of fill that gap. And that's why a lot of them are starting to gain a lot of steam over here and get really popular, because it's like people are sick of the fucking Call of Duty every other year or every year coming out. They're sick of the new Battlefields. They're sick of the fucking Star Wars Battlefronts, fucking 12, 17 million transactions, whatever. They want they want new shit. They want new IPs. They want new stories. They want more, it's kind of hard to compartmentalize, but you guys get what I'm saying, though. Hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to find that interview later. It's really good. He goes like really deep into it. Yeah, it's good. He has like a whole fucking like graph out and everything. It's cool.
I wonder if there's some kind of Western RPG fatigue because we've been Skyrimmed and Fallouted to death.
That's what I was. Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Well, you got to remember the peak for JRPGs realistically.
Yes,
the vast majority of the time that I remember JRPGs was like middle to end of the Super Nintendo era to like the PlayStation era. I mean, JRPGs were a dime a dozen.
Time. Indeed. You had, it's like whenever Chrono Trigger come out, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, like that era.
Even back then, they were considered much more of a niche game then than they are now.
I know, but even back at that time period, you got to remember that video games were not as popular back then to begin with. It was niche, but the vast majority of people who bought the PlayStation were buying them for RPGs. I've not met I mean, if you have, good on you, but at least from everyone that I knew back and all my friends, like we were sitting there saying, "Hey, man, can I borrow Xenogears? Can I borrow Lundra? Hey, do you still have your Super Nintendo? Can I play your Secret of Mana sometime?" I mean, that was the vast majority of those days, at least for me. And nowadays, like everyone, with a lot of new people that actually came inside of video games, I mean, people. They never had the experiences that the vast majority of people had, where you're sitting there saying, "Oh my God, this game looks like shit, but it plays fucking amazing." Meanwhile, you turn around and you're just like, "Hey, look, it's Call of Duty XYZ over and over again," which did look good, and then 3 releases later, it still looks, the exact same.
Hey, Michael, I mean to cut you off, Roy, but Michael, strap in. Alpha Omega Sin just retweeted our gamingnews.jpg post.
I see him lurking in our likes, retweets all the time. Yeah. I like to interact with him. He's cool as fuck, man.
He's gonna start blowing up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, God.
He's a local boy too. Alpha's really cool. Dude, I love
He-
you, man. I want to get him on the podcast again, and I want to see what we can do together.
Fuck yeah, man!
terms of,
Collaborate. I'd
yeah.
like to collab with him, man. Shit.
Yeah.
He's
If
cool
you
as fuck.
ever come to California to E3, I owe you a drink.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, he it's funny because I think he despite having like a ridiculously big audience, I think they were giving him shit to get a pass or something, or was it? I'm trying to remember. But like I told him, I'm like, dude, if you do some stuff for us, we'll get you a fucking pass. Like, they don't like they give us however many we want at this point. It doesn't really it doesn't matter anymore. But
going back, I mean, fucking.
Although, hey, I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. For all of the Skyrims and Fallout 4s, hey, those only come out once every
Todd
4
Howard.
Whatever.
Mass Effect.
Whatever shill harder. Shill.
for every it's only every 4 to 5 years that we get a new Todd Howard RPG. So and they usually sell like a bajillion copies. So now Mass Effect, I don't know.
Mass Effect.
Shut up.
Mass Effect. I kind of took a shit on Mass Effect till Mass Effect 3. With the whole drama with the ending and all that stuff. And it's like, come on, really? Come on. So what the fuck are you trying to pull? And Mass Effect 1 and 2 was super fun, but 3 I just kind of, whatever,
Yeah, I gotta post that Kotaku thing up on our Facebook too. Hold on.
I did. Already got it.
Oh, you did? Ah, nice. Thanks, baby.
But
I take care of you.
Oh, it's blowing up too. Oh, nice.
I directly tagged Kotaku too. I was like, "You knocking them out of the park, ain't you, buddy?"
Oh man, that's funny.
Shots
Anyway.
fired.
Yeah. I tell you what, when we started doing that, back when other Michael was working for the site, some people were actually giving us shit. They're like, "Oh, why are you guys like fucking like talking shit?" Blah, blah.
Why are you attacking other people?
I'm like, well, if they're being stupid shits, then I'll just I'll point at them and laugh. Basically, that's all.
But going back, I have to agree with Carl that I really do hope that the Switch basically has more JRPGs, because I realistically need a good JRPG to come out, especially after Persona 5. But I don't know. Nintendo has this weird thing of just being a Nintendo system. I mean, you're always going to see your Mario, Zeldas, fucking Mario Karts and shit. And to cap off one thing with what you said, Brandon, about the exclusive of undocked versus docked only. Even with that, I'm reminded of fucking Hyrule Legends and fucking Fire Emblem Warriors. That the Hyrule game, you have it, you can play it on the DS, it runs at like fucking 13 to 20 frames per second. Then you play it on the new 3DS and it runs great. And then for the new one for Fire Emblem, it says new 3DS only. So I really hope it doesn't go that route, because it's kind of stupid. But I really do. I really hope that the Switch does become a JRPG system. But at the same point in time, it just boils down to, we'll see. I mean, we're still even waiting for all those developers who signed on support to actually start showing stuff.
I mean, they have Metro Prime 4 coming, a new mainline Pokemon game coming, Bayo 3. The problem with Bayo 3, though, obviously, how in the fuck are they going to maintain that type of visual fidelity in portable mode, Unless they drastically change how the game plays compared to the previous games, and, like, limit the space, number of enemies, etc. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have seen the teaser for it, but Bayonetta 3, Bayonetta herself looks like her original design from the first game. Yeah, with the long hair and
I don't know. I like short hair Bayonetta. I don't trust anybody that don't like short hair Bayonetta. So.
It's her. What's her name? The the Alaska Senate governor. What's her name?
Oh, Sarah Palin.
Yeah, it's the Sarah Palin look. For the original.
Yeah.
So,
That was actually pretty cool. I was talking about like where her hair is like fucking down to the ground, like where it's like super duper long,
did she ever? Well, she had the fucking beehive look.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, you only see her for like split seconds, but it looked like her original hairdo. I hope they don't do it pretty cool. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah. I kind of hope they pick up the story where Bayonetta 2 left off.
But we're just over 2 hours, so let me we're gonna cap this off. And oh hey, look, a Boogie 2988. Oh god, dude, I swear. He's like, don't want to offend anyone in my timeline, so I'm gonna word this carefully. Congratulations to any and all people who have never molested any teenagers who won a public office today. It's like, really, dude? Who cares? Just, Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever. Like, Biden fucking molested kids left and right. Nobody gave a shit. Like, on live TV and stuff. Anyway, like, grabbing kids and stuff. So, I just want to do some quick housekeeping. I want to thank our patrons on Patreon so much. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. We are trying to revamp our Patreon a bit more. We have our Discord channel now. So if you haven't seen the message I sent to all of you guys, we're trying to give you guys exclusive, an exclusive private chat on our Discord server so you can talk to us directly 24/7.
Yep.
The problem with Patreon is that, the platform sucks, their support sucks, their patron chat thing is fucking retarded. It doesn't really work at all. So this is our alternative. The problem is it's not integrated, and then it requires you guys, telling me what your Discord name is, and I can give you the privileges and stuff. It sucks.
Or they can hit me up. There's 4 or 5 of us now. You can hit any of us up. We're easy to get hold of.
I'm probably gonna set up a Patreon email so that, just in case the Patreon website is being a piece of shit, you can just email us saying, hey, I'm Patreon, blah, 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 email, blah, 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 and I'll verify it, and then we'll do it that way. So, but we're trying to be realistic with what we can offer while you guys support us. I mean, it's incredible that you guys support us. And we're doing a lot of cool things. I mean, we've got Rory being our MacGyver, and he's doing a lot of work for us on the server and getting a lot of stuff going. And we have our new ad platform. So if you see the advertisements, if you don't want to back us on Patreon, it's fine. But hey, consider whitelisting us. It's a little click on your ad blocker. Whitelist. I promise it's only it's two advertisements plus the 2 sidebar advertisements, I think. Right? So it's only literally and they're very non-intrusive. They're very, they're very minimal, So we're going to try to do some more contests and stuff. I have some stuff to give away. It's going to be cool. We gave away some stuff in the past couple of months. My voice is going. Jesus. We have our Game of the Year thing going on right now. So please go vote if you haven't voted. We're at 2,500 votes, I think. So, we didn't give you the option to choose your own, to pencil in your own thing, because we don't want people putting in, Dick Master 5000 or something. And it's
vote 10 votes for cock.
I just want to avoid that completely. But hey, in my defense, we had a lot of people who wrote in you guys don't have fucking Yakuza Kiwami? Huh? You guys don't have Xenoblade Chronicles 2? I'm like, all right, fine. So I added them, And,
well, to be fair, I don't think you can really put Xenoblade there, in my opinion, because it came out too late. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, there was a noticeable number of people who were like,
well, we could always include it in next year's, like an honorable
it's
mention.
Not going to win, It's exactly, we can already tell, unless some kind of miracle.
We'll do a game of the summer or something. Fuck, who knows?
my goal was to get something up for our first community game of the year thing, 'cause we've never done it before, and
Oh,
obviously,
really?
yeah, we've never done it before,
Oh,
and
okay.
we're a very small staff, we're your friendly mom and pop gaming website, so
Nice.
um, but I'm hoping next year we'll have a more. I think the plugin that we're using seems pretty robust, so we'll be able to offer multiple genres, stuff like that. The problem is it's a lot of planning. Like it's for me to get the list that we had initially took me like a long time. I went through all the stuff we reviewed, and I basically just I showed it to our staff, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's cool," And I look at this. People are stealing our Kotaku thing. Okay, never mind. Whatever.
Yeah, I am seeing it pop up on my Twitter. A bunch of people are now taking that same screenshot.
Yeah, well, as long as we're the project progenitors of memes now, we are.
Now that you got me, the hub of all things meme, because I fucking lurk literally everywhere. So.
Yeah, I mean we're making a huge effort now between
Mhm.
all of us here to
Mhm.
put out more content, to engage with the community more, to give back as much as we can to you guys, and to make Niche Gamer, as good as it can be, and and do more cool stuff. So.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, go check out the Game of the Year thing if you haven't already. It's up on our main slider. It's the first slide. Just fucking vote. We're running it through the end of the month. We're gonna have our own staff Game of the Year vote. It's gonna be very interesting. I still have to beat.
E-
I still have to play a couple of games, um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we're gonna do a couple more podcasts before the end of the year. We'll do one for your Christmas trip or whatever, so you can listen while you're going. And so we're gonna try to do these weekly. I think I can do it weekly again. So we're gonna try to settle on a day. I'm thinking we're probably gonna it's gonna fall on whatever day our schedules permit and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, check out the Game of the Year thing. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/nichegamer. If you don't want to go through our Patreon, we have a little donate thing. It's literally nichegamer.com/donate. If you back us on Patreon, you get advertisement free browsing. You get the direct line to us on Discord. It's private, so you can, it's completely private. I think it's better because it's 24/7. It's just open. Our Discord channel has blown up. There's a lot of people on there. It's a lot of fun. We have the link to that up in our community thing. I'll put it in the article too. So, but yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for being on here. I think this was a lot of fun. What do you guys think? It's fun, right?
It's all right.
Yeah.
Taquitos, tacos. I'm fucking
Burritos.
hungry, guys. I have today.
Tortillas. Chipotle. Anyway. Cool. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, boy.